With a massive following of over 800,000 across TikTok and Instagram and accumulating more than 100 million views, our next guest has become a true titan of perfume talk. As one of the founders of this online community, she has set the standard for what it means to be a fragrance influencer. Known for her dry wit and measured reviews, she always delivers an honest take on fragrances, the industry, and the business of being an influencer. After years of collaborating with major brands and earning recognition in numerous publications, she was even invited into Sephora's accelerator program to mentor the launch of her own fragrance line. Now, her highly anticipated brand, Influxius, is nearly here, and the excitement is palpable. Join me today in welcoming the legend, the icon, the CEO, Funmi Monet.
Hey guys, I love that. That was amazing. Thank you. I was just like, I was acting so shy. I was like, I don't know what to say. Thank you. Should I just like nod and be like, yeah, all of those things are true. I never know what to do, but thank you. That was such an incredible intro, and I'm so excited to be here. You guys know that we've been working hard this year on so many things, and so it feels like, I don't know, it feels so real. It feels like all of it's like really happening.
All right, I'm going to hit you with one. I always start off with a crazy question.
Okay.
Do you think that you share too much of your life sometimes? And the reason I ask that is because sometimes you'll be explaining a fragrance and you'll be knee deep in like, I love this vanilla, blah, blah, blah. And then someone will be like, oh my God, Fumi, I haven't seen you in so long. How's your lipo going?
No, seriously, like I'll be like, yeah, like, can you give us a lipo updates? No, I think there's probably a better way to have a balance of how much you share online. Like some people will never acknowledge that they even had surgery. You know, there's a lot of people that have surgery every day and they'll never acknowledge it. Like they could walk out totally obvious that they had surgery and they will still like not acknowledge it. I think I'm one of those people that in my mind, I just assume people know. So I'm like, I'm not gonna ignore the elephants in the room. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, I'm like, well, it must be obvious. So I just talk about everything. I probably have some content creator friends who are OGs in this space that are probably like, Fumi, shut the fuck up. Like you talk way too much, you share way too much. Like we wouldn't share that. But I figured like at this point, I hate to say it, but if I spill my own tea, you can't use it against me. Like if I tell you I got lipo, you can't use lipo against me. You can't use anything against me if I tell you I already did it. So that's just my personal philosophy. Like if I don't act like I'm embarrassed about it, you can't embarrass me about it.
It's like that scene in 8 Mile.
Yeah, you know, like, hey, you can't shame me about something I already told you about. So
Have you ever been recognized outside just living your life?
It's actually very surprising because in my mind, I'm still not like a big creator. Like I know it sounds crazy, but I have friends that have millions of followers and I don't. So in my mind, I'm just a regular girl. So there's been like 3 that have really surprised me. One was on a flight. The flight attendant was like, I was sitting in business class and the flight attendant was just like, gushing over me and everyone around was like, oh my God, who is she? Is she like a celebrity or something? And I was just like, you know, I was like, oh, like, thank you, girl. Like, you know, I was being like super like engaged with her, but it was just funny because I'm like, all these white people probably think, who is this chick? And then she like brought me some like champagne before, like she brought me like a bottle of champagne before the flight took off. She was like, here's some extra bottles, girl. I just, you know. So I was like, shout out to my follower, like I forgot her name, but she was really cool. And then there was one time I was in Turkey for my birthday a couple years ago. I was standing right outside my hotel in Istanbul, waiting for a taxi, and this girl comes up to me and was like, "Are you Fumi? Like, are you the perfume babe?" She's literally said, "Are you the perfume babe?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was asking, and she was like, "This is so random, but I saw on your stories, like your Instagram stories, that you were in Turkey," and I was just thinking to myself, wouldn't it be so crazy if I ran into Funmi? Because she was there for her mom's birthday. Her family's Turkish. And so she was like, I can't believe I just ran into you. And I was like, I can't believe I'm running into people I know in Turkey, of all places. And then the third time that I got recognized, I was like it was really funny, was I was on a date with this guy, and it was like fortunately it was like afterwards, this girl DM'd me and was like, oh, like I saw you, you know, at dinner and I didn't want to interrupt. And I texted her back, I messaged her back. I was like, did we look cute together or no? She was like, no, you look way better than him. And I was like, thank you. I thought so. So justify why I wasn't really feeling him, but it was just so funny that she saw me on a date. So, but yeah, those are three that like stick out in my mind.
Okay. We're gonna get into the beginnings.
Okay.
What pushed you to start making fragrance content?
Honestly, I would say the pandemic is where I really leaned into it. I've been making fragrance content probably since 2018. I started doing content in 2018, but yeah, like I think the pandemic and just being at home, I started sharing a lot more candle content. Nobody wants to learn how to do a smoky eye, Everyone's at home working from home. So I started sharing more like things I did to make my house smell good. So candles and, smell good recommendations. And then people were asking me about like my fragrance collection, and they just really spiraled from there. Everyone wanted to know about fragrance. And so I just started talking more about fragrance, and it just blew up, honestly. I was like, I'm just happy to be here.
When did you realize that this hobby was your thing and you could turn it into something?
Honestly, I think I still haven't realized it, because to me, it's a hobby, and obviously it also pays my bills now. But to me, like, it's still something that's fun. Like, creating content has not stopped being fun for me. So when people talk about burning out, I don't burn out because I don't have creative thoughts. If I burn out, it's because like I'm tired. Like I do like so much. Like I feel like I'm working 24/7. So sometimes I'm just like physically exhausted. Like I probably should have had 8 hours of sleep and I had 3 hours of sleep, kind of situation. But I think the fact that it's just so global, like people all over the world want to smell good. Like it's so inclusive. Like it's not about your size, it's not about your skin tone, it's not light skin, dark skin. Paper bag test, or does she have loose curly hair or an afro, or is she skinny or is she fat, or is she Muslim or is she Christian, is she whatever, right? People just want to smell good. Is she rich or is she, bougie on a budget kind of girly? So I just love that I'm able to be connected with everybody. There's no prerequisites to join my family, to join my love of fragrance. That the club I'm in is no prerequisites for it. Just no drama.
Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna give you a deeper question.
Ooh.
How has it been being a Black creator in this space?
Oh, Jesus. First of all, I just want to say, Funmi, I have a popcorn ceiling. I have no beef with popcorn ceilings. I used to have a popcorn ceiling. I don't know why everyone thinks I just was born with a silver spoon. I'm from the village in Nigeria. I did not come from money myself. So when I tell you I got it out the mud, I wish one day I could show y'all like what my family home looked like. Just to show you like the growth. Because my grandma had a sixth grade. Like my grandma didn't know how to read, And so I think sometimes people look at you and they think, oh, she's so put together. Like she must just come from a rich family. My family moved to the US and we got it out the mud. I'm still getting it out the mud today. So I don't have feelings, popcorn beef, popcorn ceilings, popcorn chicken. I love all of it. Okay. So I just want to put that out there. But can you go back to the original question? Just wanted to put that out there.
How is it being a Black creator in this space?
It's so hard. So much scrutiny. I think people have so many more expectations for you. And I think the biggest thing that I think all of us can relate to is you have to work so much harder. Like, for example, I'll go on my page right now and tell you currently I have 26.2 million likes. Okay. So that means like over the course of all the content I've made, I've accumulated 26 million likes, but I have 500,000 followers. But there will be a white creator that will have 23 million likes and will have 1 million followers. So they've created less content. Not only have they created less content, also less content that's valuable, because obviously like I have more likes to them. And yet people are more likely to hit the follow button and follow them than they are to follow me. Like people take value from what you're doing and don't necessarily like want to like actually follow you and like, return that, like as a thank you. And I think that my thing is it's very easy to come online and be in your feelings about things and have like what I call perceived, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Offenses, right? Like perceived like offensive behavior. But I look at numbers and to me as a grad student, I always love looking at statistics. And I'm like, the numbers are what is making sense to me. Like I can say, well, this brand didn't treat me this way, and the brand can make up an excuse for why they didn't. But when I come on social media, I can say, wow, my video, like my video talking about my brand, that video has 52,000 views, but it has, hold on, actually, no, it has 66,000 views. It has 647 organic comments. That means people that that actually watched to the end interacted, but it has 66,000 views. There are white creators that will have 200 comments on a video and have 3 million views. So tell me how like my videos can have such high engagement, such high interactions, and you just don't pick it up. That's why I'm over here fighting for my life to sell out. Every day I gotta talk about this shit every day. Cause like if I had just one viral video, I wouldn't have to be shaking my tin cup online, begging for service, begging for orders. I feel like Oliver Twist. An order, please, sir. An order, please, sir. Can I get an order, please? Just shaking my tin cup. But with that being said, like it's one of those situations where you understand this is the system that we live in. And am I gonna cry about it, or am I gonna keep grinding? Am I gonna keep hustling? Like, yes, it's upsetting to me when I know, man, my content is so good. You know, man, I'm really putting myself out there and really trying to give value to my community. I live in a system, I exist in a system where I have to work harder with the algorithm. I have to work harder for brand deals. Like I still get lowballed. Like I don't think people know that. Like brands will still come back to me and like lowball me, and I'm just like, are you out of your fucking mind? I don't say that because it's unprofessional, but I'm thinking it. And I mean, it's what do? You cry, or do you just keep going? And that's the mind frame I'm in right now. Like I will have crash outs, and I will vent to my other content creator friends and vent even on my self-destruct videos. But I also know like I can't quit. Like, what are my options? You just got to keep going.
Yeah, I feel like, especially within, because I've only been on TikTok for a year, and I've seen certain other white creators, they'll make 2 videos and they'll have 100,000 followers in like a month. And I'm like, how is that possible? And here I am like editing, grinding out these videos, and then they're just like, this smells like candy.
Well, we'll get to that. I hope you have a question relating to that because I have thoughts on that too, but we'll get to that.
So when you first went viral, what was that like?
It was honestly surprisingly positive. Like I was really nervous about going viral, and I would say like I think my first viral video did like 700,000 views. I was like, holy shit, because I was getting like 3,000 views, 4,000 views, and I had a pretty good streak when I realized this is content that people want to see. So I remember like, I can sincerely say that I've had a lot of videos go viral. I've not had a video that hit the wrong side of TikTok. You know what I mean? Like I'll have, of course you get weird comments occasionally, but like if I get 100 comments out of the 100, like maybe 3 of them are weird and 97 of them are positive. So I don't let myself sit there and dwell on, comments like weird people, weird comments or whatever else now, because truthfully speaking, like it's doing a disservice to the 97% of people who left something encouraging or like a yes queen. Like I love a yes queen. So I just try not to like let that get me down.
Okay. Now you've been doing this for 5 years now?
18 to 2018. But like I've been on TikTok since 2020. Are you talking about TikTok or just, okay, we'll say TikTok 5 years.
You've been on TikTok for 5 years. How has Frag Talk changed over the years?
So much. In a good way. Like, honestly, I would say, generally speaking, right, I think Frag Talk has been a generally very positive community. Like, I've gone to so many brand events, and people, like, I think it's rare for someone to say, I went to an event and no one spoke to me, or people were acting snooty. Like, we're a very welcoming group of people in general. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny because I was recently in New York with EOS, and I was first of all, I just want to say shout out to EOS because they invited 10 creators and 5 of us were Black. I just want to let you know, when I first started making content, I would see brands do trips and it would be like one Black person, literally like one, a single biracial, like very, ambiguous. And so just to see, like, so on the trip, it was me, Jade, what is this guy's name? Oh my gosh, this guy that was on Sephora Squad with me. I just blanked out on his name. This other girl. And then MJ. So there was like 5 of us. And I just thought that was so incredible because that's 50% representation, And so that's one. Number 2, I've met incredible people. Like I've met incredible creators. I've met incredible brand founders. Makeda hates it when I shout her out, but shout out to Makeda, the boss. Like, she's in here right now. And I mean, I've met so many people that like they meet you and obviously they value your voice and how you talk, obviously promote your brand, you make the money, but they also, I feel so many people pour back into me too. Even with, I made like a post about, oh my God, like I'm so frustrated and stressed out about not selling out of Exaltate. If I told you how many brand founders, people with their own fragrance brands, mind you, reached out to me and were like, I bought your fragrance. They posted it on their stories. Like, I was just thinking, Royce, I'm so sorry, Royce. Thank you. I love Royce. I just want to say I love Royce. He's like my little brother, but I'm also very thirsty right now and my water bottle's downstairs. So, with that being said, so many brands that have their own fragrances, that have their own products, they're out here trying to grind themselves, were sending me DMs like, Funmi, I bought it, posting it on their stories. Like, I just was like, wow, this is such, I mean, I don't know if this happens in the beauty space. Like, I don't know about the other beauty founders, but I know in the fragrance space, they really hold it down. They really hold it down. And there's this understanding that there's room for everybody. Like there's people that, there's a girl messaged me and said, Funmi, I don't feel like I can make fragrance content because I'm broke. Like I can only share affordable fragrances. I'm like, girl, it's a niche for everybody. It's people that want to know which fragrances they can get at Target or Walmart or Amazon. There's people that want to know the fragrances they can get at Selfridges and Neiman Marcus and Saks. Like there's literally a spot at the table for everybody. Like if fragrance is a big universe, right? You can't say, well, I'm Nigerian, only Nigerians are going to follow me. Like you're limiting yourself by thinking like nobody else will want to follow you because that's the only kind of content you can create. So I always say, open your mind. Don't tell yourself no before other people can tell you no. And just understand your people will always find you.
Yeah, like someone said in the comments right now, affordable fragrances are more popular than niche.
They are, but look at the economy we're in. And I will say one thing about affordable fragrances. I've been wanting to get this off my chest for a long time, so I'm going to say it now because I feel like you'll appreciate this. Y'all, please stop trying to convince yourself that the affordable fragrance is the same quality as the expensive one you're getting, okay? Because it smells the same, but it's not the same quality, okay? Like you guys come on this app every day and say you won't eat macaroni and cheese from certain people's homes because you understand they're not using the same ingredients you're using. Why can't you understand that the same thing applies to fragrance? Okay, just because it happens, they can both be macaroni and cheese, okay? But they might be different kinds of macaroni. It's like, I don't understand why, like, all of a sudden, like, fragrance seems to be like the thing people don't seem to understand. Like, even when it comes to dupes, right? People are like, oh my God, there's so many dupes. There's so many recipes for macaroni and cheese, too. If I go on TikTok right now, there's 1,000 different recipes for macaroni and cheese. And everybody swears their macaroni and cheese recipe is the best recipe. But at the end of the day, one person 300 years ago, maybe 75 years ago, maybe it wasn't that long ago, 75 years ago, somebody said, I'm going to make a dish, I'm going to call it macaroni and cheese. I'm going to combine noodles and cheese and milk and butter, and they called it mac and cheese. Someone invented it 75 years ago. And since then, now everybody has a macaroni and cheese recipe that they swear is the best recipe. At the end of the day, it's still macaroni and cheese. So that's my perspective.
It was a black person, by the way.
That's my perspective. I'm just saying, like, let's be mindful. Like, let's not let delusion guide us.
It was a black person, by the way, that made mac and cheese. Just don't know.
I didn't know that. That's amazing. I mean, it checks out. It checks out.
Are there moments where you look up and you go, wow, I did this, or moments where you go, what am I doing?
Oh God, every day. Okay, so there are moments when I literally ask myself, what the fuck am I doing? Like on August 1st, when I got the inventory numbers from the company I collaborated with, I told myself, I posted it, I have a group chat with several different friends. So I have like 10 different group chats I'm in. And I copy and pasted, I am going to unalive myself because I feel like I do not have a way out of this. Like this feels like there's no way out. And I was even texting Makeda and I was like, girl, I don't know what to do. And she was just like, use that big head. And use that big brain. Use that big Nigerian brain of yours. No, but seriously, like, I think there's so many times when things will happen and you're just like, did I bite off more than I can chew? Like, is there a way out of this, And then there's days like today when I got an updated email from the brand saying, hey, we sold 500 units last week. I was like, oh, Jesus, we never even sold that many in a month before. I mean, we've never even sold that many in a month before. Like we were doing on average, like maybe like 300 a month. Like, and that wasn't a good, like if I was doing 300 in a month, I thought that was a good month. So to do 500 in a week, I was like, oh my God, like I really can do, I can actually sell out this month. I can do it. And now like, it's just like you have that fire in your belly, like, oh my God, I can do this. Like we have officially, as of today, from August 1st to now, sold out half of the remaining inventory that we have left. So we've done 50%. We still have like 1,100 units. I think we sold like 1,100 units, maybe, but I mean, we did 500 last week. So now in my mind, I'm like, oh, I could sell this out in 2 weeks. Like in my mind, I'm delusional enough to believe I can sell this out in 2 weeks. And so I really believe in the power of just like leaning into your willpower and also being able to tell yourself I can do hard things. Like if you had told me 1 month ago, if you told me a month ago, Fumi, you're gonna sell 500 units in a week, I would have been like, bitch, I can't even sell 500 in a month. In 4 weeks, in 30 days, who the blinkety blink is selling 500 units in a week? Like, who's gonna buy? I was thinking, oh, maybe one of my sugar daddies will buy 400 of those units. You know, like I don't have a sugar daddy, but in my delusional mind, you know, like that's what I would be saying. And so just the fact that like the power of this community and being able to show up and just be consistent, like it did those numbers. I'm like, damn, I'm about to go to Sephora and kill it. Like Sephora will never be able to say Black owned brands don't do well in retail. Like when I think of the Ami Collet situation and how like, you know, damn, like in 3 years her brand started and ended, you know, I can't let white people tell me Black people can't sell. I can't let these people tell me this. I can't let them, because I already know that's what they're thinking. I already know they're thinking, oh, I guess we'll give her a chance, but don't be surprised if it doesn't do well. You know what I mean? Like they're already thinking that, like, don't be surprised if it doesn't do well. You're gonna be surprised at how well it does, actually. In fact, we're gonna be surprised at how well it does. And so I just always like thinking to myself, like, oh, don't worry, like you're gonna be surprised how well it does. You're gonna be surprised at how well I succeed. You're gonna be surprised because you just gotta be delusional. It's my Scorpio rising. I'm a Virgo, but I'm a Scorpio rising, and I think that's the crazy part of me that a lot of people don't know. I will succeed in life because I'm crazy, and I will do anything. I was saying, listen, the girls. I was even talking about. This is kind of off. It's similar. So I had a meeting earlier. Today's Monday. I had a meeting last week with my team, the consulting team I'm working with, to basically create my roadmap to launching at Sephora, like how much inventory I'm going to have to order, you know, how many stores I'm going to be in, like all the marketing materials, who I need to hire. When they gave me the number, I said, Jesus Christ, now I understand why the girls are selling cat. And I thought to myself, well, damn, you know, I kind of get it now. I mean, no judgment, you know. At this point, I might have to raise capital some way. Okay, I'm gonna have to raise capital some way. You know what I mean?
I do think it's important for people to know, like, it's okay to be like in your feelings about something, but it's always about like how you bounce back. Like you can't just retreat and be like, oh, I can't do this. Like you have to. It's okay to feel like that, but
Yeah.
you have to be able to like, okay, I felt like that. Let me put the work in.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like, it's just about also having a dream and, you know, asking yourself, how far are you willing to go to execute that dream? I once saw okay, so this is like a really random quote, but like Kobe Bryant once said that he doesn't get nervous before games because he knows I did my best to get ready for that game. So why would I be nervous? And I think to myself too, like with doing my brand, like, why would I feel bad about my brand not succeeding if I know I'm doing everything in my power to make sure it does? You know, like even when I tell people about what I'm doing, like even we're like a year out from launch, and I'm working with consultants. Like I've already started interviewing PR people. You know, I've already started like, you know, working on, okay, who am I going to hire? What kind of person is going to be best for this position? Like, you know, I'm touring warehouses. You know, who's going to do my third party logistics? And a lot of people have said, okay, well, just do your own third party logistics. Like you can just do it out of your garage. Like it'll be fine. Like just, you know, because you don't know how many orders you're going to get. You might only have 10 or like, you don't want to pay a warehouse early for something that you might not need until later. I'm like, hey, I'm delusional enough to believe that the first month we're going to sell out. I won't be able to handle the orders. How am I going to handle orders if we sell out that month? I don't even know how to pack orders. So I need to make sure I'm getting it to a warehouse that's used to working with this type of volume, that's used to working with Sephora, that's very, very strict with how they pack things, that they pack things. I'd be asking, I ask, hey, how quickly do you pack things? Like if someone orders on a Monday morning, is it going out Monday or is it going out Tuesday? When someone orders, if they say, hey, Funmi, I ordered 3 perfumes, my box only had 2 perfumes, do y'all have some type of camera set up to make sure someone didn't steal it? Are they trying to scam me? Those are all questions I'm asking because I'm anticipating I'm going to be successful. And I also and maybe you got to think about the things that people are also going to have criticisms about. It's you cannot ever avoid criticism in life. I know okay, well, I don't want people to say it took too long to ship because as a Black brand, like I said, there's so much more scrutiny. There's more scrutiny, and they won't ever say that, but there's more scrutiny. Because if you order a perfume from Francis Kurkdjian, and if you order on a Monday, it doesn't ship till Thursday or Friday, you're not going to be upset about it. But if you order from the Black-owned brand and you don't get that shipping notification Tuesday morning, oh, they're trying to scam me. I knew it. Not around here, partner. We're not trying to scam nobody. You're going to get your shit.
Okay.
No, sorry. Chanso, hey, shout out to the CEOs in the chat. We had Chanso, we have Makeda, the girl, the CEOs are in here. They're tapped in.
There's a lot of talk about creators not being authentic. What do you think is fueling this conversation?
Why are y'all following these people? Who are y'all following? There's so many authentic creators. What do you mean someone's not authentic? You can just unfollow them. I think it's so strange the things that people complain about because I'm then follow the ones that are. It's that easy. You have free will. If you feel like someone is not authentic, there's a lot of creators I don't follow because I just don't connect with their content. I don't really like their personality. It's just anything in real life. Even at work, you go to work, you're not friends with every single person you work with. You're cordial if you see them. Hey, Todd, yeah, thanks. You want some coffee? But you're not oh, let's go to lunch or maybe let's grab a drink after happy hour. You can't be, that's not how life works. So if you meet someone, you find them disingenuous, you find them inauthentic, you could literally just not follow them. The TikTok shop ad creators, everyone's trying to make a buck. You know what kind of economy we're in? I'm afraid of my tariffs that I'm about to get from my manufacturer. Okay, I'm going to France at the end of the month. I don't know what I'm going to have to do down there to make this money. Okay, I'm saying it's a no judgment zone.
What is the common mistake you see new creators make?
Honestly, I'd say trying to spend too much money. You don't have to have every Louis Vuitton fragrance to have a good collection. You don't have to rush out and buy all the Mind Games fragrances. You don't have to rush out and buy, Killian or whoever just because you think you need to have an expensive collection. I think that's the biggest. Don't put yourself in debt over a fragrance, okay? It's never been that serious. That's number one. Number two, you don't even have to buy full bottles. One of my really good friends, Valerie, the niche sampler, that's her name, Samplers. She buys samples and decants and she reviews them. And honestly, I can't even tell you how many fragrances in my collection I've bought from her reviews. I've never once thought to myself, oh, I can't take her seriously. She doesn't have a full bottle. God, she's clearly not a serious content creator. You know what I mean? Connect with people that you like. And if you don't like certain types of fragrances or content, you just simply don't have to follow those people. If you don't like TikTok shop ads, then don't follow people that promote TikTok shop ads. It's that simple. If you know, hey, I love niche perfumes, I love unique fragrances, I love the artistry with fragrance, then follow the creators that do that. Because I promise you, those creators are not suddenly going to pivot and start shilling out Latifah and Paris Corner. Someone that really loves you. I mean, Dev, look at you. I highly doubt I'm about to go on your page and see Aroma Concepts on there, So it's just you follow the creators that are doing the thing that you like, that you connect with, and that's how you build your community. I am not I like Bath and Body Works, but I don't follow every single launch, right? But there are some creators that they know Bath and Body Works perfumes from 10 years ago. I have a few, but I don't know, you know what I mean? So for people that love Bath and Body Works, they follow these and they love their content, and that's fine. And there's some people that they love the affordable fragrances that are $30, $40 so you can get out they love that. And follow those creators, follow the people that are doing the thing that you like. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. It's actually, I'm saying this, look at me in the eyes, guys, okay? It's literally that simple. It's literally that simple. You have free will. No one's holding you hostage. So that's just my 2 cents.
So this is a good segue into this question. There's been a lot of talk about toxicity in frag talk, and I know you've had some disagreements with other creators. What
Uh,
is your
I, I,
opinion?
no, there's not
One,
an S at the end. It's creator.
oh, oh, what is your opinion? One, as a large creator, and two, as a mental health professional.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge that I've been in this space for 5 years. I have not had disagreements with creators. Okay, there's no plural. There's one. So I just want to make that very clear. Like, after 5 years of being in this space, I think I've done a very good job of maintaining a great relationship and very minimal drama. Okay. Ask about me in these streets. They'll tell you. That's number one. But number two, I think once again, it just goes back to just being professional. Like at the end of the day, I don't have to like something that you like. And you don't have to like something that I like. It's okay. But just maintaining a level of professionalism because at the end of the day, like this is my job. This is the job that keeps my lights on. This is the job that feeds me. This is the job that pays my student loans. You know what I mean? Like this is the job that's also fueling the next part of my career. And I've made so many good brand relationships from this job as well. So I think just going into this understanding, like for a lot of people, this is a hobby, and that's fine. It's okay if this is your hobby, but for me, this is my job. So I will always be professional about my job, And if you don't like it, that's fine. But I also know I've been in this job. Okay, so like it's like the new person coming in and telling you how to do your job. I've been doing this job, and I'm gonna keep doing this job long after you're gone. So don't come into my house and change the rules. Because hey, let's be for real. Like, don't come into my house and change the rules because of a narrative that you want to do or because of a dynamic that you want to create. I think a lot of people thrive off of drama, and I think that if I wanted to create more dramatic and I think obnoxious content, I could do that and get a lot more views. But honestly, like I have amazing brand relationships with real brands, like brands that are at Sephora, brands that are at Neiman Marcus, multi-million-dollar brands. Like I have an interview this Friday with uh, an investor group that's attached to LVMH. You don't get those kinds of interviews, and you don't get those kinds of calls, and you don't build those kinds of relationships just what creating drama 24/7. So I always say like you never know who's watching because these people we'll do an intro, like I'll have an intro to someone and they'll be like, oh my god, I love your Substack. I'm like, oh, you saw that? Or they'll be like, oh, I was watching your Instagram, or I was on your LinkedIn page. I'm like, these people have eyes everywhere. Don't let the one time their eyeballs are on your page be because of something messy. It's never.
How do you deal with toxicity?
I don't. Well, I do, but but I don't. Like, and that's I think the best thing. I think I just don't because, like I said, this is my house. I mean, I'm not trying to like be funny, but this is my house. I've been here since 2020. Like, I think I was one of the very first perfume talk creators. So you don't get to come to my house and tell me how to do things here because a lot of people that have come into the fragrance space and it's been a very, very positive experience for them. It's been a positive experience because creators like myself, creators like Jade, creators like Khadijah, Zoe, like all these people that have been here since 2020, 2021 have purposely created a friendly community for people to be able to enjoy. So why would you come into my house and change the rules? The rules are this is a inclusive space. The rules are this is a space of kindness. And my rule in my house, I don't know what it's like in everybody else's house, this is a professional space. If you don't know how to be professional, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, like the biggest thing you have to remember is that these are people that would do anything to change places with you. I wouldn't change places with them. I don't want your life.
Well, has standing for causes negatively impacted you?
Probably, but honestly, I also just remind myself that, if you stand for nothing in life, then anybody can knock you over. I think it's important to have principles, and I'm not saying I know everything, you know what I mean? Like, I will not support brands that I know, for example, that posted MAGA stuff. Like, I thought that was, and people will tell me, well, did you know this brand posted MAGA stuff? I didn't know. Did I see them post it? I'm on like 24/7. Like, damn, I sleep sometimes too, you know? So no, but like when I see something and I'm like, this doesn't sit right with me, for my own conscience, will say I'm not going to support them. Like when I saw House of CRs post all that MAGA stuff after the election, I was like, well, that's easy. Just won't support them. And then like BDK, when the owner posted all this, pro-Israel stuff and all this other, I'm like, it was on his stories and a lot of people didn't catch it, but I caught it. And it was enough for me to say, one, this is very unprofessional. Why are you posting this stuff on your business page? Do people not have group chats anymore? Like, what happened to posting things in your group chat? Like, I feel like there are certain things that just don't need to be on your business page. Like, when will people understand, like, I am a regular girl and I understand PR. Like, what do you mean you're posting MAGA on your business page? Post that in your group chat. Anyway, with that being said, like, I think it's okay to be able to stand on business regarding things that you don't support. And honestly, if you don't know something, like I was telling people I don't support bond number 9. And people were like, oh my God, why? I was like, well, a few years ago, the owner had allegations of racism. And for me, allegations is enough. It's a lot of people that never have allegations in life. And I always have to ask, why do you always have allegations? It's lots of people that can go through their whole life and never have an allegation. I've never had an allegation of racism. So why do you always have allegations? I feel like where there's allegations, there's fire. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you as a person are responsible for the principles you want to stand on. Your principles don't have to be everybody's principles. But personally, I always say where there's an allegation, there's usually some truth. Because why do you even have an allegation? Like, it's so many people that go through life without ever having allegations. Makeda, have you ever had an allegation? Chanso, have you ever had an allegation? Why do people have allegations? So that's just me personally, and allegations enough. There ain't nobody misunderstanding you that much. Thank you, Joy.
Okay, let's get over.
I'm sure you didn't think it was gonna be off the chain like this.
What exactly is the Sephora Squad, and how has it helped you? And how can it help small creators?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people don't utilize Sephora Squad because the girls don't know how to schmooze. Sephora Squad is basically like an ambassador program with Sephora, right? And essentially, like, it's, you get to work with Sephora directly. So all the brands that are at Sephora, anytime they have a campaign, they're launching a new lipstick, perfume, foundation, hair product, skincare product, right? They go to Sephora and they're like, hey, we're looking for 15 influencers to help us launch our new eye cream or our new lipstick or our new eyeshadow or our new hair product. And Sephora's like, oh, here's our squad. Here you go. Here's our pick of the top, the creme de la creme, right? But the thing is, like, while you're in the Sephora squad, your job personally is to develop a relationship with those brands. Because once you get outside of the squad, you still want to have visibility with those brands. Like, you still want them to continue to want to work with you. And I think a lot of people get into Sephora squad and just think everything will be handed to them. But it doesn't work that way. You have to schmooze. Like, when you go to Sephora events, are you talking to the people that work for Sephora? I'm asking them, how was your vacation? I saw your dog was in the hospital last week. Is he feeling better? How's Fido? How's little Bow Wow doing? Like, how's your kitty cat? I heard your kitty cat was, whatever. Like, people, you pay attention to people when you talk to them, and pay attention to the people that will connect you with other people. Like, those are I have a friend that I've made friends with her, right? But she used to work for Sephora on the agency side. And it's been like 3 years, like, since she left, and she still connects me with brand deals, because she liked me. And so I always say, like, be genuine, connect with people, be genuinely friendly, but it can be a life-changing experience, because for me, Sephora Squad is the reason why I got into the Sephora Accelerate. And the Accelerate is like a mentorship program that Sephora does for Black and BIPOC brands to be able to launch in Sephora. So last year, it was towards the end of my tenure on Sephora Squad. In August, they said, hey, Funmi, like, I think I just seen them in like June, and I gave a bunch of fragrances to people on the Sephora team. They said, everyone loved your perfume. Have you ever thought about launching your own brand? I was like, no, my agency told me I didn't have enough followers. And they were like, huh? Are you listening to what we're saying? Have you ever thought about launching your own brand? Like, we are Sephora and we're asking you this. And I was like, oh, okay. So they said you should apply for the Accelerate. So I applied for the Accelerate. I got in. And this year, really since last year, since like, I want to say September of last year. So it's officially been a year that we've been working on this brand, that we have been in the trenches and getting this brand ready to launch next year at Sephora. but this happened because of Sephora Squad. Like it's directly, how do you say this? It's directly connected. It didn't happen because I had a good fragrance, because I did have a good fragrance. But if I hadn't been on Sephora Squad, they never would have known that. So Sephora Squad was the door that opened things for me. And I will say the last thing is that like I think Sephora is really interested in investing in creators that are becoming founders at Sephora. Like we see so many, like look at Patrick Starr. He has this brand One Size, which is absolutely doing insane numbers at Sephora. You have Huda Beauty. Huda was an influencer before she became a business founder. And now she has $1 billion company, billion with a capital B, mind you. Look at Mona, you know, like there are so many brands at Sephora in multiple areas that they were influencers or they were like some type of creative person that like they're doing really successful. They're doing very well at Sephora now. And I think Sephora's creating honestly a new frontier for not celebrities necessarily. Like you're not going to see another Jennifer Aniston launch another, you know, we're going to see another JLo Beauty or something like launching skincare brands that feels like a cash grab, but really creators are known for something in their space launching brands, whether it's a hair product, whether it's makeup, whether it's perfume in my instance. We're going to see a lot more of that in the coming years.
Glad you brought up fragrance, your fragrance. So you, I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are the first Frag Talk influencer to collab with a brand for your own fragrance. How does it feel to be the blueprint?
Honestly, it's so sad. It's sad but scary. I'd say it's scary, and it also like it's a lot of things. It's empowering because honestly, it made me proud to see so many people come after me and launch successful products. I think sometimes I feel sad. I think that's the word I'm looking for because if this brand hadn't reached out to me, there would have been no other opportunities. Like a lot of people often ask me, well, Funmi, like we wish you had made a more affordable product. We wish you'd partnered with like Lattafa, or partnered with like Oakcha, partnered with Dossier. I'm like, nobody was doing partnerships in 2021. And that's when I had this opportunity. They came to me in 2021. In 2021, nobody was getting brand deals, black or white, anybody. Nobody was getting brand deals, you know? So what was I supposed to do? In that instance, this company wanted to make a high quality product. Like we didn't even know. I mean, all these other brands, they hadn't even really blown up yet. Like I think at the time it was like Swiss Arabian and maybe Lattafa, and that was it. There were like Paris Corner didn't exist. You know, I don't even know all these other brands. Like there's so many of them. They didn't even exist yet. You know what I mean? They weren't like moving numbers like that on TikTok. So with that being said, it's been a learning experience because something that I struggled from the beginning was like when people say, oh, it's too expensive. I'm like, hey, the price is the price. You know, people said that Beyonce, that oh, it's too expensive. Well, they sold out. Taylor Swift went on a 5-year tour selling $3,000 tickets and it sold out. So the price is the price. You either are going to get with it or not. And understanding you don't have to change your price or change your product because somebody else can't afford it. The price is the price. That's the number one lesson I learned. The second thing I learned too is that you really do have to be proactive. Like I think for a long time, I just was hoping that the brand would push the product more and just like do more of the heavy lifting when it came to marketing and kind of getting it out there. But I think this chapter in the last few weeks, it's taught me that you have to be willing to get in the mud. You know, you have to really be willing to do anything. And what are you doing? What are you willing to do to make your product successful? Because if Exalte doesn't sell out, it's going to be on me. It's not going to be on them. Like no one's going to be like, oh my God, that little aura. Like no one knows who they are. Like it's on me. And so I realized the responsibility falls on me with this, the same way the responsibility falls on me with putting the right pieces in place to make sure my new brand launches successfully as well.
Now, how involved were you with the collab? Like, did you develop the fragrance with them, or did they come to you with a fragrance or an idea?
No, they came to me and said, would you like to launch your own fragrance? And the idea was that they actually wanted to launch their own fragrance brand. Like they do skincare, and I think they wanted to do like a fragrance line, like separately. So it was kind of like, well, we want to see what it would be like to even start this process. And we're going to kind of use me as a guinea pig to see like, what is it like to launch a fragrance? So, you know, I did all the creative direction. Like I did the scent profile. I sent my scent profile, like I did like a presentation. I sent that off to the perfumer. The perfumer actually did follow my scent profile. And we did, you know, a few back and forth before we landed on Exalte. I did all the like everything. Like I chose the bottles. My signature's on the original bottle. I don't know if you can see it, but on the packaging, there's my signature. I chose the green and gold because this was just a really beautiful color for me. I'm Nigerian, so I love green, and gold was just giving royalty. But the name, I chose the name. I mean, I really will say that aside from making the perfume myself and mixing it, like I made this fragrance.
Okay. Now, when you do sell out,
When,
you
yes.
told me that you might be bringing back the scent in a different form.
So there's a rumor that I started actually. So this is part of me having a big mouth. And I'll just be open because I want people to have something to look forward to. I have such an amazing relationship with Brown Sugar Babe, and I brought it up a few months ago. I was like, "What if we did an oil?" And she was like, "People have been asking for it." Like she said, "People have been asking for it," but I wanted you to be the one to kind of initiate the conversation. I didn't want to just be like, "Oh, Funmi, do you want to do this?" Or I want to be respectful of your creative process. But I was like, "Oh, the girls love it. If the girls love it, the girls love it." So once we do sell out, that's something I'm looking forward to moving forward with and trying, and whenever Brown Sugar Babe puts something out, they put it out and they put it all boom. So they put their whole foot in it, foot and elbow, all the way up to the ankle.
All the marketing won't be only up to you.
No, and it won't because they do such a great job of nailing the visuals, getting their community involved, and I just really appreciate that.
Now, speaking of creating fragrances, Influxius,
Hmm.
you're taking this serious. So serious, in fact, you did a perfumery course for a month in Paris. How has that changed the way you evaluate a fragrance?
Oh my God, it's changed so much. I know so much more now than I did before. That's number one. And even though it was just a summer course, like it wasn't like I got a degree in this. The amount of information that I gained has been very, very useful in the process of creating my new fragrances. Like now, when I smell my fragrances, I will tell them I didn't like this, change that, upgrade this note, change that note, let's swap this out, let's turn this up, switch it out. Like, and I'm able to give them very specific direction that I would not have had before. Because a lot of times they even told me this, Fumi, we can tell you went to perfume school. Because I mean, even my notes, about the fragrances are very, very detailed. And they said a lot of times brands will come in and be like, "Oh, well, can you make it sweeter? Or maybe make it less musky, or maybe we can make it a little spicier." But that's kind of the extent um, of their involvement in the process. But to come in and be able to say, "Let's swap this out for patchouli. Let's change the type of vanilla we use here. Let's turn this note down and then like boost this one up. Let's swap out this like." I don't like the jasmine. Let's change out jasmine for frangipani. Like things like that are really, really useful. And so I like while I like and I know raw materials enough. Like I said, I'm not a perfumer now, but I think that I learned enough that I feel comfortable working with my perfumer, like Chancellor said.
Now, with this extra knowledge, have you gone back and re-smelled Exalte and you're like, I would do this differently?
Yes, and that's what we're gonna do with Brown Sugar Babe. And that's what we're gonna do. Actually, I've been dreaming about it for a few years. Cause I mean, you just never really know what you're gonna do with anything. I was like, man, if I ever made a flanker, like I know what I would do differently, you know. And yeah, like I said, when Brown Sugar Babe does something, they put a twist on it. So it's gonna be what I call Exalte 2.0 because it will have now this knowledge that I've gained from perfume school that I'm now applying to this new and improved formula. Exalte.
Any hints you'd like to drop about Influxes?
I can't tell you because people will say, "Oh, can you tell us what note?" If I tell you vanilla, it's not going to be what you think because there's so many. Like we're working on multiple fragrances, and so I can't. Like people will ask me, "Are you going to do a gourmand?" Of course, there's going to be a gourmand in there, but are they all gourmand? No. Of course, am I going to do a floral fragrance? Of course, but it's not probably what you expect. Like so, it's hard to tell you. Well, I'm going to use this now. Okay. I'll use vanilla, but it's anything can have vanilla. But I did show them to Makeda. Makeda liked them. And that was just the first round. Mind you, we're on like I think we still have several more rounds to go through. So I just actually got an email that they said my fragrances will be ready next week. And I'm like, I'll just come to New York. You don't have to mail them to me. I love going into the office and smelling. So
now that you are starting your own brand, is there anything you want to take back or add that you said about other brands in the past?
Um, is there anything I want to take back with other brands? Like, can you repeat that?
Take back or add? Like maybe you criticize a brand for doing something, but now that you have an
Yeah, a lot of
understanding,
things. Honestly, I think the biggest one is Sephora. Like, I I used to feel like brands would like drop fragrance. I'm like, why are they so boring? Like, they just don't feel like they're super like out of the box. And what I realized that I mean, when you launch in a place like Sephora, you have to launch a mainstream friendly fragrance because you're just appealing to two different audiences. Like the audiences that are going for mind games are not the same audiences that are going for Kaoli. You know, like and they're completely different price points as well. So you have to kind of understand, okay, this is the price point, and this is the type of person that's likely to come in and shop and buy this. I think for me, the biggest thing I probably regret is calling things like dupes, like saying it's a 1-to-1. Like, oh my god, it smells exactly like this. They don't. They're not the same quality. Even your favorite fragrance that costs like $30, it costs $1.55 to make. I was really shocked at how cheap it was. The bottle alone was 87 cents. Like I was shocked at how cheap things are because they're able to buy it at such crazy volume. They're buying 50,000 units, you know, and so it costs a dollar. Like it costs less than $3 to make that $30 fragrance, and so and then like I said, and it probably costs less than $2, really. So with that being said, like it's really hard to. Then I'm talking about the $30 fragrance. Now the fragrances that are more expensive, you are also paying for. Okay, when people complain about not being able to smell fragrances in real life, like, oh, like I want to buy this perfume, but I don't blind buy it. When fragrances are in retail, you are paying part of the cost of retail is the ability to be able to pay to have your fragrance on the shelf. For example, if Exalte was in retail, it would probably cost closer to like $200 because the retailer takes 60% at times. Okay. So the thing about it is that like when people say, well, this fragrance is expensive or it shouldn't cost that much, it has to cost that much in order for you to have the privilege of being able to go into the store to smell it. Now, if it was only online, you can charge a lot less. But the thing is, like, it's also not fair to charge $100 for a fragrance that in the future you want to be in retail. Like, in the future, I hope Macy's or Dillard's or Neiman Marcus or Scent Bar picks this up. And if you're charging $100 for it now, and then Lucky Scent picks it up, and you have to charge $200 for it later, it's a big price jump. You already have to price your fragrances at what it would be for the retailer. Otherwise, it's not even worth it. So there's so many things, but the marketing, like marketing alone, I budgeted $200,000 for marketing next year. Like marketing alone, that's small. Brands like, for example, Sol de Janeiro, they spent I think their marketing budget was $72 million for the year. So when you think about it, it's like, damn, like $200,000 sounds like a lot of money, but the brands in Sephora are spending millions of dollars because they can afford to. And that's why like they're able to continue to grow, continue to like gain awareness for the brand. Yeah, they dropped 72 million, but they made like close to 400 million, you know? So I guess I say all that to say like that, you have to pay to play in this game. You have to pay to play. But I think it's really, really important for Black owned brands, especially to be able to we'll never have the level playing ground that other brands have, but to be able to at least have the opportunity to thrive and to offer a quality product to people that look like us. Because at the end of the day, we spend so much money. Like, I know how much you spend. I can see your shelf right behind you, and I know how much all of us spend for fragrance as a hobby. I think it's important to know that Black owned brands can create quality products that deserve to be able to sell and to thrive and to scale and to grow at the same um, great with the same amount of grace that we give other brands.
now you touched on this already, but can you explain some of the challenges and expenses that you faced starting the brand?
Well, I will tell you, I pulled $100,000 out of my savings to start my brand, and it's almost gone. Honestly, like it's already almost gone. I've used it paying for like my lawyer fees, for paying for what is it called, trademarks, paying for the consulting team that I work with that's helping me to be able to have a good strategy to launch. All the things are really expensive, and the thing is, technically, I could probably do those things on my own. But if I mess up, those will be really expensive lessons later on that will probably cost me more. Like later on, I might have to pay these people $50,000 just to fix my mistake. Versus now, maybe I'm paying them, like I think I've paid them 12, and that 12 is I know I'm paying this 12 now, but I'm going to get advice that I won't have to fix later on. So yes, it's just expensive now, but it could be more expensive for them to do a complete overhaul of my brand, you know. And so, paying for, trademarks, even one of my fragrance names, I had to change it because I had a meeting with Sephora and I put out all my fragrance bottles and they said, hey, one of those names is already taken by another brand they're launching next spring. And I was so mad at myself because if I just trademarked it back in July when I thought of it, then I would have had that trademark first and I could have kept the name. So now I have to change the name of one of my fragrances because I didn't trademark it quick enough. So it's just it's everything. You have to think about everything. And then I think the biggest thing too is sometimes you have to pay people. Sometimes people want money for something they don't deserve, and you have to pay them because it could be much more expensive later on. And so I think there's been a lot of lessons, but I think the biggest one is just asking, what am I willing to do this? Like I had an ex reach out to me and was, asking me about investing in my brand, and honestly, I really didn't want to take the money, but honestly, I needed it. So I was like kind of thinking, glad I didn't burn bridges with you, even though you were kind of an asshole. But also, this money is technically, emotionally, I suffered emotionally while I was with you. So this is like at least I'm getting a recuperance. I'm getting recouped from the emotional suffering I endured while in a relationship with you. But it's just things like that, like where you have to like really humble yourself and know you have to ask for money. It's reparations. No, seriously. So you have to ask for money, and you also have to know when to say, hey, I can't afford to do that. Like I wanted to hire a PR person. And I was like, shit, I don't know if I can afford to do that right now. I'm going to have to do it myself. I'm going to thug it out. Like I have to take this shit on the road when we launch and go to all the stores and do pop-ups and do community events. I have to do all that. There's no one I can send in my place. So just asking yourself, it's funny because I had the conversation with Mona when I saw her in January. I saw Mona in February in San Francisco during the Sephora Summit. And she said, Funmi, you're not going to have a life for the next 5 years. And she said, so if you're dating, like, just make sure that person is really like, it's not going to like distract you and cause you to have like heartache and drama that will distract you from what you're doing. Like you will not have a life for the next 5 years. And I'm seeing that I really won't.
Just kind of there. What is the fragrance industry missing that Influxius is going to provide?
I think it's going to, first of all, create something that's exciting and new. I think a lot of times brands kind of hop on trending fragrance notes or trending categories. I think that with Influxius, I think about as a creator how we've led so many trends in the space, and I think that I can do that with my brand. Like I think I can continue to lead trends versus follow trends. I think that's really, really exciting. I think another thing too is fragrances I feel exciting to put on. I think when you smell so many versions of Delina or Baccarat or Libra or whatever else is popular, Lost Cherry, like you smelled every version of those fragrances imaginable. I think you don't feel anything when you put them on, because it's just like, okay, well, at least I get a cheaper version of this, or at least, it's a Baccarat with a twist or something, right? I think there's space for fragrances that feel exciting and that are doing something different, I've always said that I try to encourage people that watch my content to be fragrance thinkers and not just fragrance wearers, because I think as a fragrance thinker, you'll pick up a fragrance and think, well, how does this fit in with my lifestyle, and does this align with my taste? If I'm a gourmand girl, then yeah, like of course I'm gonna love this strawberry cake fragrance or whatever, right? But if I don't like gourmands, I don't need to wear this just because it's viral. Like I know that's not my jam.
I agree. I totally agree. Who is your dream perfumer?
I love Jerome Epinette, so probably him. I got to meet him in New York a couple weeks ago when I worked with EOS. There's a guy I want to work with right now at the fragrance house that I'm with. I've been trying to get them to let me work with this guy. So another thing people don't know is that when you're a new brand, there's a hierarchy to the perfumers that they'll let you work with. Like the very, very top perfumers, you will not get them for your first fragrances. Like if you work with Firmenich, they're not going to give you Quentin Beach for your first fragrance. You're starting with like a junior perfumer. So this is a guy I want to work with at the perfume house I'm at now. And he's not quite a master perfumer, but he's really, really good. I've been following him for a couple years and I really like his fragrances. I feel like he could really nail mine. So I've been trying to get them to like get him to consult on this project. Um, we'll see. I might have to do a little bit more begging. Maybe if they see how many bottles of Exalte I sold this month, they'll be like, no, Fumi's in the big leagues. But right now they don't think I'm in the big leagues. So when you're not in the big leagues, you got to work your way up, and that happens everywhere. Like it happens, it happens very consistently.
Okay. And what's your approach to creating fragrances? Do you go, I would like this, and you make it, or do you look at market research and that's fueling what you're going to make? How do we look at this?
It's a little bit of both. I think, first of all, I think my fragrance is very dynamic. So I don't think, oh, this smells good. I also think, where would I wear this to? What kind of outfit would I put this on with? Where would I go? What kind of music am I listening to when I have this on? And what color, what taste, like what does this remind me of? Like it's like a 3D experience. And so, first of all, market research says that obviously gourmands are still doing really well, but what type of gourmands do I want to put out? Like, do I want to put out something that's a little bit different? Like, maybe not the strawberry cupcake type fragrance, maybe something that's in a different category, that's doing something that's still, it's a gourmand, but it's a different type of gourmand, right? So that's one thing. The second thing too is I think about, like I said, I want people to feel something when they wear these fragrances. And so like my mood boards, when I send them off, they're about 40 pages. Like, I'm not even kidding because I include lyrics to music I'm listening to. I include the music video. So the link to the video, I include like the outfit I think this person would wear. I include like a day in their life. I include like, everything. Because I want them to be really immersed in the world I'm creating.
So it's basically each fragrance is a character.
Yeah. Because like it's my fragrance universe. I trademarked that by the way.
What advice do you have for creators wanting to reach your level?
It's crazy because I don't feel like okay, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're trying to say. I feel like I'm still not, I haven't made it yet. But I will say consistency goes a long way. Being kind, be kind to people. Like tap into your community, give back. Like I love doing giveaways. I do them so often. I'm actually like I have a giveaway that I did, a few giveaways I did in August. I need to pick winners for and mail them out. So when my assistant comes this week, I'm gonna have her take those packages available to the office, the post office. I say consistency is number one. Sometimes my videos will get 300 views, and sometimes a video will get 3 million views. Those are the breaks, I think if you let yourself get down about not getting a lot of views, it will keep you very discouraged from wanting to continue to build and put out more content. So consistency, asking yourself why you're doing this, and then keep it fun. Like when content doesn't feel fun, you won't want to make it, but you also won't want to watch it. I love making fun content because I know that if I had fun making this, you will have fun watching it. If I make a boring video, it's a half-assed video, and I watch it, I'm like, oh, I know that you guys won't want to see it either because I'm like, it's boring for me. Like I know you guys don't want to see this, So I'd say that's my advice, have fun, be consistent, and be kind.
What are some of your favorite creators?
Oh my God, there's so many. I honestly have so many. It's hard for me to name. Like one of them is Dev, Fragrance Fashion. I think he's incredible. Like I really respect you so much. I think you're so intelligent and I really like your pragmatic approach to talking about fragrances and also this community. There's really so many, even just in Texas alone, I love Keitra. I don't know if you know Fab Finds by Keitra, but she was my first friend when I moved to Dallas. And she's always been probably one of my biggest cheerleaders, just a genuinely kind person that she wants everybody to do well. She's excited to see everyone succeed. And I still continue to hope that she receives her flowers in this space because she really deserves it. One of my really good friends, Ehi, she's launching a fragrance brand this month. I'm excited for her. I love Valerie, my unproblematic fave. She's in Switzerland, and I met her at Exance like 3 years ago, and I just love her to death. My perfume talk girls, Jade, Zoe, Khadijah, LC. That's my clique. We probably talk every single day. I probably talk to them more than my own sister. But it's crazy because you can meet people and you can be at different walks of life. Like we're all different ages. I mean, Jade's like 23 and I'm 34. I'm going to be 35. And you could probably, I mean, she's the same age as my baby, like my cousin, And it's crazy because even though our ages are so different, like, and she's very Gen Z. I just love her to death, Every time I see her, we're actually me, Zoe, and Jade are going to Cannes at the end of the month as well. Another one of my favorite girls is Olivia. I love Olivia Olfactory. She just went to Texas as well recently. I feel like I could shout out everybody that lives in Texas. Professor Perfume, she lives here in Texas as well. I love Paul. He's so kind. Oh, Jesus Christ. I probably can't put into words what a very kind and self-aware person Paul is. But when I tell you, somebody that really roots for you, Paul has been such a great person and such a great friend in this. And then Jackie, my girl, I love my girl Jackie. She's an OG, but like it's been so incredible how she's also really welcomed me in this space and just been someone that she always reaches out to me and will say, do you need, like, can I help you with something? Like, is there something that I can answer for you? Is there someone I can connect you with? Creators, I mean, there's so many amazing ones. There's so many. Roxy, oh my God, like she's always cheering for people, I'm trying to think, like, there's so many good people.
You don't want to forget anybody. I know the feeling.
I don't want to forget, but like honestly, like I love everybody. I really do. Like,
what does your For You page look like? Do you actively consume fragrance content, or do you consume what kind of content does Funmi consume?
It's so different. Like right now, I like the video that was like Napaholic. It was like that like the aholic trend that's been going around. So there was one that was like Napaholic. And ever since then, I've been getting videos from talking about how much people like taking naps and laying down, which are also things I love doing. Depending on like, let's say I'm trying a new recipe, like I'll get recipe, like my For You page will be recipe TikToks. When I'm traveling, sometimes it'll be TikToks about the place I'm going to, which is really convenient. Like I'm going to Cannes at the end of the month, and for like a week after I booked my flight, all I got was content about traveling through the south of France. Sometimes it's fashion. Right now, I'm wanting to change my hair color. So I've been getting a lot of TikToks about just people getting haircuts and like dyeing their hair. I surprisingly do get like fragrance content, but my For You page is very dynamic. And then also last weekend, it was Dexter. The whole weekend I got Dexter TikTok. I was on Dexter Talk. It was like the season finale for Dexter. So Dexter Talk the whole weekend. I love it.
Now we know about your fragrance collection, but what about your purse collection?
Oh my gosh. Okay. First of all, I'm currently on a ban from buying any new bags, which really, really sucks. But I will show you my most recent bag, which I love. I got this in Mykonos. This is my baby, my smushy. This is my Bottega Hop, and it's so big and smushy. Like I literally put everything in here. I feel like Hermione Granger. That just like it's a never ending bag. It just fits so much. But I think this will probably be my last bag for a while, only because my money is funny right now. I am not ashamed to say that. My money is funny right now. And I did a lot this year as far as spending is concerned. So I'm spending the last quarter of the year locked into focusing on paying for things relating to my brand versus building up my closet. But I will say my favorite bags that I bought this year, I bought my Chanel Classic Flap in Shanghai at this store that's like Fashion File. I got it for an amazing price. I did a really big haul in Italy. I got my Lady Dior, the purple one that I love, in Milan. I got a few Louis Vuitton pieces from their multicolored, the Kurosami collection, the multicolor collection, and the Cherries collection. That was really nice. And overall, I would say I got a lot of bags on my wish list. I still have a few things on my wish list. Honestly, I have jewelry on my wish list right now. Like I wanted a new watch for my birthday this month, but I ended up getting lipo. So can't get both. Like I said, my money is funny. So, but I do love bags. Like once I get my money, once I get my money back together, I'll get myself something nice. Who knows?
And does everyone get your dry humor?
No, a lot of times, I think a lot of people are probably walking around thinking, "What a bitch." Like a lot of people are probably walking around thinking, "God, what a bitch." Like I'm just like, it was just a joke. It was just a little jokey joke. You didn't get my joke. And I think it's because a lot of people are used to consuming humor that's very like what I call like fart humor, like very like Dane Cook type humor. You know what I'm talking about. And that's never been my sense of humor. So I think for people that like Dane Cook humor, like they don't get me, which is fine. Everybody can't get you. But the people that do, I always like, I think that's my favorite compliment that people tell me is, I think you're really funny. And it would be so random. Like I went on a date with this guy. We went on a few dates, and it was like I think like the second or third day. He was like, "You are so funny. Like you are actually very funny." And I don't think that you realize the things that you say because you say them with such a straight face. He said, "But you'll just say the most outlandish things, and then I'll just look at you like, did she just say that?" So I think that's my favorite because at the end of the day, I think it's important to laugh in life. You have to laugh so you don't cry.
And my last question for you. What do you think is the future of Frag Talk?
I would say that frag talk has become very what I call democratized. So now you're seeing a lot of people that are not necessarily fragrance content creators or what I call like frag girls, frag heads, right? That are making fragrance content, promoting fragrance brands. I think, people are realizing that this is a space where they can make money. Like, I think most of the TikTok lives that I see, the mega events, like when I click on the users, like their pages they're not like, I don't even think a lot of them are actual content creators, or I don't even know what they really do, but I think a lot of people are realizing that this is a space where, you can make money and it's a very high commission. Affiliates and commissions are very high. And I mean, I like that. I think it's good that people can make a source of income. I think it's important to remember and to remind people you can be responsible. You can have free will. You don't have to buy something just because you're on the live. You don't have to buy everything that a brand puts out. Just because the brand puts out the perfume, body mist, body cream, body oil, and body wash doesn't mean you have to buy all of it. You can buy what you want. If you just want the body oil and the perfume, that's all you need to get. You don't have to get everything. You literally, it's just an option. I always tell people, I'm not here to tell you to get everything. I'm just a news source. I'm just letting you know it exists. If you want to buy it, go ahead. If that's not something that you would like, I let you know that it exists. But I'm not, just because I'm talking about it doesn't mean you have to get it. Now, when I talk about Exalte, you do have to get it. I'm being very clear. When I talk about Exalte, you do have to get it. I am telling you that I want you to get it. Let's be very clear. I'm not a news source for Exalte. I'm telling you, please get it. I'm begging you, actually. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to babysit for you this weekend? If you buy my bottles, do you want me to come babysit? I'll wash your dishes. What do you want me to do?
I have some dishes that need washing.
I'm like, at this point, what do you want? What do y'all want me to do? Just tell me what you want me to do.
Those are all my questions for you. I don't know if you want to answer some of the Q&As in the
Yeah, I mean, did you see any questions that stood out to you that
I think someone asked, can you describe the person wearing Exalte?
Yeah, so Exalte is
not Exalte.
For Influxious, right?
Influxious.
Well, the thing is with Influxious, it's there are different kinds of fragrances. So like, for example, one of the fragrances is the kind of girl or the kind of person who looks at the quality of materials when you buy clothes, right? So you might have like one white t-shirt. You don't have 10 white t-shirts, but you have one white t-shirt and it's from the row. And that's it's the only white t-shirt you have. You have a curated closet. You don't have a lot of things, but you have very good things. So maybe that's the kind of person that will like XYZ fragrance. The kind of person that will wear one of my fragrances is definitely the kind of person that likes to go out and have a good time. I don't like to go out and have a good time, so I had to cosplay that when I was during the creative process. But I was thinking, like, I was watching movies. I was watching like movies from the early 2000s. I love the club scenes from the early 2000s in movies. But I was just thinking, like, damn, if I was a 30-year-old in, for example, I don't know, during some of these like club scene movies, right? In the 2000s. This is the fragrance I would have on. Like this is the kind of outfit I would have on. Like I would have my little, you know, handkerchief tube top. You know, I have my hair big, a nice red lipstick, and some big old hoop earrings. I would be part of the girlfriends cast, you know. So just things like that. Like I think who would wear this and where would they wear it to?
Do you prefer scented lotions or scented body oils?
I actually prefer body oils. Lotions, I like lotions, but I tend to have like dry skin. So I think body oils just make my skin look so much better and always like just looks really healthy. I layer both when possible. In the summertime, I usually would choose one or the other. But if I had to pick one, I do prefer oils, honestly. Butters and oils. Yeah, body butter. Butters and oils.
What's your favorite layering combination of all time?
Oh my God. It's like asking me who's my favorite parent. I don't know, honestly. I don't think I can answer that question. I would say, you know what? I will say one combo I really, really love is the Exalté with the Moolah oil from Brown Sugar Babe and Lyra by Zherzhov. One of my followers put me onto that combo, and I just cannot stop thinking about it.
Oh, one thing you learned from me.
I really, really appreciate, like I said, your pragmatism. You know, like I think that you have a very calm nature, and sometimes I feel like I'm a little chaotic. Like I probably didn't need to talk about selling cat on TikTok Live. You know, I'm not selling cat. I just want to put it out there. I was just joking. Like if you don't know my humor right now, you're never gonna get it. But I'd say you're really, really professional. And I also you make a lot of really great recommendations to me as well. Like on my lives, you'll ask me about like brands. I'm like, oh, I know, but I need that brand I told you that I saw in Paris that you were like, hey, you need to smell this. I'm like, I do need to smell that. You know exactly. Yep, that one. So I do appreciate that.
Um, Moolah and Exalté is a combo, you said, right?
Very good combo. Yeah, Mulan and Exalté.
Are
Yeah,
you also coming out with candles?
not right now. Maybe in the future, but I think for now we're just focused on making some really, really damn good perfumes. Plus, I also don't have money to launch. I don't have money for it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I can't even think about it. I barely have money to do what I'm trying to do next year. Like, I barely have money for that. I'm like, at this point, I'm about to take the clothes off my back.
Have you
You
launched
know,
any unisex or any unisex or mask leaning fragrances?
they're actually all unisex. I will say, there's one in particular that I'm like, I need to send this back because it smells, to me, it smells masculine. It's really, really good. But I'm like, to me, it smells masculine. And I know the girls are going to say it's going to smell masculine, but it's really, really good. So I'm like, what do I do? I like it, but I don't know. I'm gonna sleep on it. I'm gonna wear it a few more times before I make a decision. But it's definitely a unisex line. I don't think there's anything that smells overly girly pop. It's definitely not giving girly pop. I will say that. But I would say if there's any brand I would compare it to as far as like the quality of the juice, it's definitely up there with like I'd say like Electimus and Initio because I did splurge on my oil budget.
Okay. Are you over all the videos about dupes?
No, I don't care. Honestly, it sounds crazy. I just don't care because I feel like everything in life is a dupe. Like I said, like if I've seen one macaroni and cheese recipe, I've seen them all. But the thing is, when it's time for me to make macaroni and cheese, I'm gonna watch all of them, you know. And so usually I put in black people macaroni and cheese, but in the search bar. But like, I mean, that's the thing. At the end of the day, like every recipe is really a dupe for something else because everyone thinks they're making a better version of it. Like even the people that dupe Kaoli, for example, like there's a fragrance called Pink Blush or something. Like people are like, oh, but it smells stronger and it has more strawberry. I'm like, oh, so you put a twist on it. So you put mustard in your macaroni and cheese. You know, like so you use cheddar jack in your macaroni and cheese. Like it's just a different version of macaroni and cheese.
Ghana jollof or Naija?
Okay, so this is a safe space. I love Ghana jollof. Honestly, my best friend is Ghanaian, and every time I tell her I love Ghana jollof, she's like, "I'm gonna film you and leak this footage online." She's like, "The Nigerians are about to eat you up," but I love Ghana jollof. I just love it. I love Ghanaian food, honestly.
And I'm going to end with this one.
Okay.
When can we expect Influxius?
Inflectious is launching next year. I can't say when we're launching only because we don't have a date yet. Like we don't have a launch date yet. But that's because I'm still negotiating some things with Sephora. So like I can't say, okay, we're gonna launch on August 1st because I don't know when we're gonna launch like in store. And really the store launch I think is the one that people are really, really really interested in being able to go into the store. So right now I'm just saying 2026. I don't know when it will be, but it'll be not too late in 2020. It's not going to be like December of 2026, but it'll be in 2026. But yeah. First, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on. This was such a good chat. Like I feel like I was talking to Barbara Walters. Like you asked some really, really good questions. And I wanted to send you a bottle of Exalté as a thank you for having me on here. So be sure to DM me with your mailing info so I can send you over a bottle. But also to everyone in the chat, I just want to tell you that I appreciate your support when it comes to Exalté. And it does mean a lot for me to sell out this month. I'm going to be honest. Like I don't ever try to like exaggerate things, but it will mean a lot to me to sell out this month for so many reasons. The number one reason being, obviously, I'm trying to launch my own brand and I need this partnership to be over with so I can move on to my next contract. Essentially, these contracts can't overlap. Okay, so I can't sign my contract with Sephora until this one's over because of for legal reasons. But secondly, I think that it also has making me feel better about being able to launch successfully. I think a lot of times you wonder, will anybody even buy it? Like, oh, I'm barely selling this. Like, will anybody even buy it? And it's like, being able to sell out and be done. Like, it's like, okay, I'm closing this chapter. I'm done. I sold out of this product with no help, and now I have Sephora helping me do marketing. I have so many things I'm in control of that I will be able to execute on my new brand. And so I think the last thing too is like, honestly, this was one of the first collaborations in this space, guys. Like, I'm not even trying to like, use the OG excuse, but I mean, literally, like, I've been doing this since 2020. I've been working on this product since 2021, and there are so many people that have since launched collaborations, and I want to continue to see people launch collaborate. I want to continue to see my favorite creators, get brand deals and do their own collaborations as well. But I mean, this is a chapter that needs to end because I'm moving on to a bigger chapter. And it's a good and it's a good product. It's a damn good product. How's sales for the last month been? We are almost halfway through the inventory right now. So I will say that like the number that we started with on August 1st, we sold half of that inventory. So I mean, we did really well for, I think it was on sale for like 2.5 weeks. We've done a lot. So I really believe that in the month of September, we can sell the rest of the inventory. But I need everybody's help. I need you guys to, if you see my videos on your TikTok, please just hit the repost button. Like the repost button helps me a lot with getting more views on my videos. Share it with a friend, post it on your stories. Honestly, hitting that repost button really, really helps though. Like just hit the repost button. I think that'll help a lot. But yeah, I agree, Deb, you do need a podcast, and I'd be happy to come back and be one of your first interviews on your podcast if you ever decide to launch one.
Thank you so much.
Buy two, get one is still going on right now. It's buy two for 200, 3 for 270, which is buy two, get one free, and then 4 for 320. So the more you buy, the more you save. I think if you buy 4, you're basically paying $80 for the bottle. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good, guys. Almost 50% off. So with that being said, I appreciate you. Did you have any other questions for me tonight? No. We're gonna sell out, guys. We're gonna sell out, and like I said, when we sell out, I'm giving away my first bottle. So this is the OG bottle. I'm doing a sell out giveaway for anyone that orders. I'm gonna pull all the orders, and I will sell. I will be giving this away as a gift for a random person once we sell out. So I think it will happen this month.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good one. I'll chat with you later. Bye, guys.